See love live to the world, people. It's another great day. I have a special guest today. You know, whenever the Bahamas is having a dialogue on a national level, I like to reach out to other smart Bahamians who live all around the world. And today we're going to be talking with my boy. If you used to watch and listen to me at ZNS, you know I used to do a lot of shows about the African Renaissance movement. You know, I did a lot of shows talking to the free thinkers of the Bahamas. I love brilliant people. And even though the narrative on the Bahamas says, oh, they're just a bunch of dumb people who get in grind. But guess what? We have some brilliant Bahamians who exist and who may not be living at home, but still they have something to say. So I'm going to put the video up here first. Y'all say good afternoon to brilliant legal scholar Dion Hanna, who I call RasBoomShak. Say hi to the people live from London town.
Oh my boy, you really could sweet me up, and you got a sweet tongue, boy. You really got a lovely tongue.
Man, I gotta sweet you up. You's a brilliant man, Dion.
Man, but you know, I only brilliant because I learned from people like you know.
Child, please, I learned from you.
You're a trailblazer.
Now, I learned from you. I remember. You're so nice, don't lie. I remember when I first came home from school and I saw you bust into the courtroom in Nassau with your wig on your head and your locks underneath. I was like, look at my boy. Lion. So, Dion, I wanted people to see you looking like the light-skinned Jesus. Y'all can see Dion, right? Your camera just as bad as mine. So I want to put y'all, because this like how we can do this, like how we did radio back in the day. We just gonna hear what Dion has to say. And so Dion, I just want to put your speaker next to my phone while we talk. Hey everybody, we can have a serious conversation today because the narrative of race is once again very prevalent in the Bahamas with the naming of certain people as national heroes. A lot of the racial venom and ire has been brought to the forefront. And I remember RasBoomShak sitting in a conference in 2011 when you were talking about the wealth of the land and how the wealth of the land has been basically hoarded by a select few. And you talked about our heroes like Pompey and Coriano or Corrine, Matilde Corino. You know, they have all kind of pronunciation for the name. And so I want us to have this conversation today. Let me know how you feeling. Because I'm feeling some kind of way about these awards. I believe we botched them once again. So tell me what you think in the day.
I think the problem with these awards is the problem with our country. You know, it's a identity crisis. The Bahamian people don't know who they are because they don't know who they come from. I mean, the name Corino, it's only a handful of people really know who he is. You know, he's been hidden from history. And, you know, one of the things I think that is going wrong in our country is that, you know, you can't blame the FNM for this alone. The PLP had a significant part to play in this.
Exactly.
In 1967, when they came to power, they met the oligarchs running things. They knew what was happening. They were fighting against it. But they never tried to redress that balance, you know, to make a balance so that ordinary everyday people could become empowered. You know, there was a lot of rhetoric, like there's more land to be possessed. But up to now, the Bahamian people still can't possess the land.
Yep.
And that's a big serious problem that began back in the day. And I was, you know, when I was thinking about this interview, like, you know,
sorry about that, Dion. Let me let this truck go. Sorry about that. I am in this loud. You know what? Let me go find one quiet place. I sat here, right? Nobody was here. Now all of a sudden the world here. But I want you to continue that point about redress because a lot of people always ask me, Chrissy, why are you so mad at that first PLP government? Chrissy, why are you so mad at the nation's first country, the nation's first prime minister? Because I, like you, feel that when we, the majority, took power and we were promised a square deal, I feel that we were just given the finger. So I want you to finish that point that you were saying now that it's quiet.
Yeah, you know, the problem with the PLP is they tried to accommodate the oligarchs. It's almost like they were singing for their supper. I can remember back in the day, my mother used to work for Roy Solomon them.
Mm-hmm.
And he fired her.
Of course, she was protesting.
Because of your husband. And when he died, he was a PLP. He became a member of the PLP.
Ironic,
You
hey?
know, when I was 18, you see, I was so disillusioned with the PLP government by 1968 that I had one of them cards, you know, you used to get one of them card carrying PLP member. One of them cards.
I remember them
I
cards.
carried back to my mother. I said, Mommy, I can't go along with this nonsense. I gave it back and I put it in her hand. And from that day to now, you know, I haven't seen any difference in the PLP, the successive governments that have come since that government. I mean, all of the governments have really accommodated the exploitation of our resources. They've accommodated the giving away of our land to vested foreign interests, and they preserve the land theft that was taking place by the oligarchs. Because when the oligarchs were in power, they gave themselves the land.
Yep.
You know, I mean, crown grants. I mean, the area where I grew up in, the southern coast of Nassau. One of my friends showed me a cabinet paper from back in the day. That whole area was a natural national park. I mean, it was a preserve because it was so precious for our resources. That's a breeding ground for fish.
Yep.
Those creeks in the back there. And Baker, who was a member of the government, the UPP government at the time, gave himself a crown, or got a crown grant for what's that subdivision with the canal?
Seabreeze.
Seabreeze.
Yeah, Baker owned Seabreeze.
That's where Seabreeze came from.
Yep.
And when that happened, you know, that's how other people got to get grants in the back there, including my family. But I mean, that was a travesty because they were giving themselves land that should never have been given in the first place.
Yep.
That's a national treasure. That's a big ground for fish that will sustain our generations for perpetuity. You know, because then it's a betrayal. And even though Philip talked about land he possessed, he never accommodated the empowerment of having to own land. So right now, the majority of our people are landless. They don't have any means of economic independence. They're forced to become employees, and every government's agenda is to bring in a foreigner, give them the land so they can give us jobs.
For dollar.
And I think that's the problem. We have the same message coming down by governments that Stafford Sand is right. Give all the land to foreigners. And that's what's wrong. What needs to happen is the Haitian people need to be given the land. You know, when you could somebody like Pop Seminette, national hero, and this man was right in the middle of all of that land business. I mean, if you know, over in Nassau, he made a fortune with land.
Yep, he surely did.
And his money came from smuggling into the States. He's a criminal under American law. You know, by right, he should have been in it. He's no different than 90. If we could name him as a national hero, somebody said it on Facebook the other day, you know, and I agree with that. If we could name him as a national hero, then why not 90? Because 90 did a lot of good for people too.
Well, let me ask you this, Dion, and that's where the rub lies. Because the whole national heroes, of course, the 4 who were named, all of them come with their own set of scandal. But it seems that it's rubbing salt in the wound to highlight Sir Roland Simonette. Even though they used to call him Pop and he used to give people land and money and help out, it's like somebody saying, well, he was nice though. But, you know, I don't understand how you could be nice to people when they're in captivity. Some say that the first prime minister of the nation himself was guilty of egregious wrongs against the country. So how do we deal with the disgust and the anger that we feel? I know you're like me, a Bahamian outside of the Bahamas, but your heart's still very much a part of the Bahamas. What are some of the things we can say to ourselves to more or less understand just what made our current legislature do what they did? Because I don't get it. And, you know, I'd like to talk to you because I think you're I always say that I salute your mama who came to our country because she was in love with a Bahamian man and who used to stand up in the road and fight for the rights of black Bahamians. But you know, activism, it ain't an easy road in the Bahamas.
Tough, tough.
So what can we do to find solace?
You
And
get victimized.
I've got you,
You get
child.
victimized, you see.
You asking me? You must be telling me because you can't be asking me.
No, well, no, I know. You know, you get victimized when you speak up and you tell the truth. Because, what really has happened, you know, Chrissy, I mean, the bottom line is, when the PLP came to power, they compromised with the oligarchs. They made a deal.
Yeah, they did.
You keep the economy. You know, we'll run it for you. Make sure people get employment.
Make sure they took their part though. They took their piece though.
Yeah, make me wealthy. And you know, I think, you know, when we talking about heroes, you mentioned those names at the beginning of the interview, Pompey and Quirino.
Most people don't even know who they are. Most Bahamians, you know, my audience skews very young. So when I was talking, you know, I just don't understand how these men who are, our prime minister is what, 63 years old? The deputy is what, 56, my age, I think. How do these people not know so much? How do they not know about their country? I just don't understand how you could live in the Bahamas and be so clueless.
I can understand it because if you look in the history books, I mean, for Quirino, for instance, who had the first slave uprising where they were going to just overthrow the slaveholders and kill them all and take over the country. That was just before Haiti, you know. But that piece of history is just a little footnote in the history books. There's not much written about Quirino. You know, I'm trying to write a play now about Quirino, and one of my biggest challenges is finding source material about Quirino.
It's true. It's difficult.
They wrote him out of the history books, and it wasn't on anybody's agenda to go and let's find out who this man was. But he was so central to our struggle for freedom because he represented the first time our people said, no, we're not going to take oppression. No, we're not going to allow you to have the land. We will take the land. That was so powerful a statement from back in the 18th century that we should honor that. He should be on our money. I mean, instead of Stafford Sands and Pop Simonet and Pinland and Miss Whitfield, all due respect to them, instead of them being on our money, we should see an image of Quirino. We should have a national competition for our artists to come up with an image that represents him, because we don't really have any physical depictions of the man. We just have the description of what he tried to do.
Yep.
And you know, I think this is a challenge for us as a people. We have to start to honor our true heroes, and the real heroes are the ordinary, everyday people who just struggle to survive in the face of all of this nonsense over the last centuries, and even now, since '67, who still continuing to struggle to survive. These are the heroes. They don't talk about them, but these are the women who go out to work and struggle and sacrifice to make their children get an education.
But we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. So why do you think we don't?
That black mother who made those sacrifices for this generation, that woman is such a hero. We should exalt her. We should lift her up because she represents who we are as a people.
Yep.
How we come to be where we are. Because we wouldn't be anywhere without that lady. And we need to honor her. She's unnamed because there's so many of them. But they are the real heroes.
I don't understand it.
Go back to, sorry.
No, go ahead. I don't understand it, you know, Dion. And the other thing that I don't understand as well, and you know, you've been fighting this fight way longer than I was fighting this fight. I always just tell people, you know, it was at your house where they decided to have majority rule, do what it do. A lot of our people do not know the history, and it appears that our first legislators were intent on keeping us ignorant. So why do you think we think that the Bahamas just started in 1960s, in the 1960s? No mention of a Pompey, no mention of a Quirino, no mention of a poor black kid. I even talk about your family, Dion Hanna, walking all them children to school in Auckland. No mention of none of them people. So why do you think we believe that the Bahamas just began with Pop and Ping?
Because we've lost contact with our source. I mean, you know, we've become so caught up in this modern life with air conditioning, satellite television, trips to Miami, and you don't have to use no passport. I mean, no visa. You can want a police certificate and you get the clearance. Because we've been spoiled. We lost contact with our island roots when you didn't have no electricity, when you didn't have no running water all the time, when you had to go to the pump to get water.
Well, we still going to the pump to get water. In 2018, we still going to the pump.
Ain't nothing changed. But you know, I mean, we lost contact with our roots, Chrissy. I mean, back in the day when Mr. Carl Francis, you remember when they searched him in Miami, and he had a diplomatic passport?
Yes, Carl Francis went through a lot.
He was curious.
But look how we did Carl Francis.
Shut down the airport. Huh?
But look how our own legislators, that same first 25 years, look how we did Carlton Francis. I married into the Francis family, and his sister, the late Helen Francis Russell, used to always say, boy, look how they do my brother Carl. She used to always lament about how they did her brother Carl. So why do we dislike ourselves?
Because he back in us when they had that controversy around him closing the airport. He was everybody gave him hell in the house, and he was by himself. And that's why I love this man. No matter what anybody say, he got up and he said, "Look, the path you on, you have air conditioning, you have a good car, you have jobs, but you won't own the land. You see, we need to return back to our fishing island roots, our family island fishing village roots. We have to start from there. We have to give our people the land. We have to possess our own resources. And it'll take a while. It'll be a struggle. But eventually we will have the nice cars and the satellites and all of these modern things. But we will own the land.
But everybody will.
Employees on the land.
It won't be just 60 families.
We laugh at them, Chrissy. I mean, to me, if anybody of the generation of politicians in 67 should be a national hero, he would be my choice.
Yep,
Because
Carlton
he had a
Francis.
vision of empowerment of our people. He didn't want to rely on foreign investors to come and own the land and give us jobs. His thing was, let our own people own the land. Let us manage this country ourselves. And, you know, it's like, I don't know if you remember that story about Pilgrim's Progress.
Remind me.
You know, the fella had an easy road and a hard road. The easy road, you know, nice and paved well, but it leads straight to hell. The hard road, there's a lot of struggle and sacrifice and rocky, but at the end of that road is paradise. And that is really the image that we need our people to be thinking about. It's easy to have a nice road where you have electricity all the time, and you don't own nothing. It's a much harder road. You have to struggle to have the light. But you own it, and then eventually it will be at a higher standard. But you'll have to sacrifice until you get there. We haven't learned that thing about sacrifice.
Oh, we haven't.
If we can't get those trips to Miami to carry our sweetheart over there and buy her two soda, you know, we in trouble because our people so built up into this thing, they almost feel they're Americans.
That's unbelievable.
Miami seemed to be the capital of the Bahamas.
Unbelievable. So how here we are 45 years later, we're still waiting on this, you know, promise of the square deal. We still see that those in political authority who are doing the jobs that we elect them and pay them to do believe that they are the heroes. Is it ego or is it just downright ignorance?
I think it's a combination. There's a lot of ego in it because I don't know if you notice. I know most of these fellas when they were nothing.
Okay.
And I say nothing when they had no power.
Okay.
And they were ordinary people like us.
Okay.
When they get in there and they get that power, something clicks. You know, all of a sudden it's almost like they want to be like a slave master.
Yep. And they want to persecute their own people.
Yeah. I watch them all, you know. That's why any of my friends who come to me and tell me they're gonna run, for election, I tell them, no man, don't do that. Because I know they can change.
But why? Why are we so changeable and mercurial? Is it because we so ain't used to nothing? Is it because we just don't see what's going on with our people? Like how do you sell out an entire nation for you to get a couple of minutes of instant gratification? Help me understand that, Dion.
Think about it now. If you in the community every day, you deal with the people, you feel their pain, you feel their struggle. You're in a different environment than when you become a MP or minister of government, because then you go into nice hotels, you know, you get all of these comforts that come with the job.
Yep.
So you're not really, even though you might have had contact with the source, with the ground, you come back to a position where you forget. It's easy to forget where you come from. It's easy to seduce somebody, Chrissy. Somebody who don't have nothing.
That's true.
Seduce them. Seduction. It's almost like a seduction taking place. And then the main thing is, if you don't have a foundation, a historical foundation where you know the struggles of your people, you know what it's taken for you to get there, for you to sit as a black person, to sit and call themselves a minister of government. If you know that history, if you know this history that began with Corino and the first slave ships that came to the Bahamas, if you know the history of struggle that throughout the African world for freedom, if you know that, then you can't go wrong. But the people have strayed from the source. In order for us to remain as a people with any kind of hope for the future, we need to find the source. We need to go back to our roots. We have to remember where we come from. Pompey Bay is so strong. But Pompey Bay is symbolically powerful family, because that is the root of the Athens crew, the people in Marcus.
Yep.
The settlement of those goods, Spring Point, Selena Point, all the settlements in like Rye Island. These are the historic thing where they destroyed town. But town was a community. Like,
but we don't know. People don't know.
That's why you have the problem you have now in Camp Road. An angry young man who, and you can't really condemn these young people, Chrissy.
No, I agree. If you don't teach them,
It's a result of lack of leadership.
And that's anger.
Real leaders in the government or the opposition, they would put the gangs together in a room, and then so they could sit down and talk. Because this gang war been going on a long time.
Very, very long, from the 80s.
People together around the table. The churches could get involved.
So what's stopping us?
And they could make peace, because those collective of young people that make up the gangs, they could form cooperatives.
So what's stopping that? What's stopping that?
In illegal activity of killing one another, they could combine their economic power and they could become entrepreneurs.
What's stopping that?
Drive the economy of the Bahamas.
What do you think is stopping that? Remember? Well,
it's a lack of vision.
So I want to shift gears. Well, the thing is, we've been asking for this real leadership from 1973. From 1967, I was hearing my parents talking about this real leadership. And, like I said, when you're like me, we know these people, we love these people, but we're very disappointed in some of the choices that they made. I want to switch gears for a moment and ask you how you feel about people like our current prime minister, who said, let's put race behind us. How do we in the Bahamas do that, in your opinion?
Well, you can't. Rex Nettleford talks about it in relation to Jamaica, but it's equally applicable in the Bahamas. Race is more than yeast for dough in the Bahamas. It's really central to everything that's going on. The people with power are white. The ones who import in all the stuff that we buy, most of them are white.
Like you say, we kept it like that.
The ones who own the land, and you go through the registry and look at the names of the oligarchs and how much land they own. That is they're white. The people who live in the ghettos are black. The people who have no land are primarily black.
So how does a black
fuel in our jails? All the young people that go into jail are black.
So how do we? Sorry.
People in Bahamas, but you don't want 15% in the prison.
So how do we fix that? How does a country of black people, when Lyndon Pinling arose to power, even though he is condemned greatly for keeping the status quo, how do we as black people in a black country fare so terribly in a country run by ourselves?
Well, you gotta have courage and determination to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you gotta be a Thomas and Cora, and you will be killed. You gotta be a Maurice Bishop. You will be killed.
Boy, I was just looking at that. How they damn just yuck Maurice. Well, or after America, but they traps himself started making up them stories about Grenada though.
Yeah.
America always stirring the pot and don't lick the shitty spoon.
Nah, yeah.
So can people ask you some? No, go ahead.
See, when Maurice Bishop came to power, the first thing they did is they made agro-industry the number one agenda.
Yep.
So they didn't just sell their nutmeg. They started to make products from the nutmeg. And they were making jams, they were making all kinds. I mean, it's wonderful what was happening. I went there during their revolution and I really felt empowered. And, you know, it's one thing to see in the Caribbean. You don't see it anywhere else. That was the only place in the Caribbean, because most of the Caribbean is like the Bahamas.
Yeah, a lot of the white oligarchy and plutocracy, and even some of the black plutocracy and oligarchy have been ramming it down the throats of the people. And this whole recent discussion on national heroes, where we must pretend the oppression didn't exist. I no speak Spanish.
Okay. Forget it. But you know, if you forget it, you can repeat it, Chrissy.
Well, we keep repeating it.
They are doomed to repeat it.
I want people to ask you some questions. You know, I'm tired. I really am. I believe that we need to get it together. Okay, everybody's hailing, everybody's asking. Yeah, I know a lot of the young children don't know. If y'all don't know about Dion Hanna, y'all better Google him. All right, everybody's saying hey. Everybody's telling you how. All right. Well, look here. So let me ask again. No matter how annoyed we are at our country, it's still our home. We still. How can we deal with the anger? Says exactly right, Mr. Dion Hanna. It's the everyday people who did things to build communities. They know they just chose to stick their heads in the mud and pretend those things didn't happen, disgraceful and slap in the face of the Bama people to the struggle and sacrifice of our forefathers. And the fact that I bet you, like, how many of you who are listening to the show right now, or who, before you heard me talk about Pompey, Quirino, or I was calling the man Quariano, how many of you actually knew this history before? See, very few young people, very few people in my age group know the history. See, everybody's saying, remember I young. Yeah, I don't know why. Sorry, Dion. This woman just walked up to me. Excuse me. Do I look? Why everybody who's Spanish is coming to me? I look Spanish, eh? Anyway, I must look Latin, eh? I must look Latin. So Dion, you know, for those of us who are angry with the situation, Toya say, not me. I didn't know. Yeah, a lot of people didn't know. A lot of people didn't know because, and that's one of the things I remember telling Sir Lyndon when he and I had one of his last audiences when he was on his apology tour. I said, you know, how do you build a nation and not tell people who they are? I just don't understand it. And then that same lack of knowledge is what's killing us right now.
Yeah.
So how do we unscrew this thing?
Well, we got to start to educate. We got to let them know the truth. I mean, that's one of my motivations for working on this play I'm doing about Quirino. I want to make him visible. You know, there's no, at least we know a little bit about Pompey because
yes.
so there's some remembrance, remind us about his struggle. But with Corino, because he was militant, he was not and Dessalines, he probably inspired them.
Exactly.
And like the Maroons in Jamaica.
And like you said, before Haiti, it happened before Haiti, and a lot of people don't realize, not that it's a competition, but a lot of people do not realize that. So Sandy is saying, and you an attorney too, so I would love to know what you think about this. She was like, they don't own eat their asses.
But you know, we need a revolution and nationalize the land. That's the bottom line of it, you know, and then complete revolution. I mean, taken from the cooks and return the land to the people. And we need this idea. We need foreign investors to develop a country.
We love them.
What we really need, we have not in abundance. We need to empower people to begin to tap those resources. We need, instead of us having people come in to dig oil and sell oil for us.
And selling futures and making money.
We have people out there throughout the diaspora who are talented, who can do the job. We need to attract these people back. Those we don't have, we need to train so we can begin to exploit the natural resource ourselves.
Well, we shall see.
We don't need a foreigner to run our hotels.
But we do that.
I mean, our own people should be running the hotels.
But didn't you hear my show? We have a white man in charge of housekeeping at Bahama.
Yeah.
Not that it's about black and white, because you know we all mix up like gong salad. But the thing is, we see successive leaders. When you talk about this ownership of the land, we saw the crookery of Staff Sands with the Hawksbill Creek Agreement. Lyndon Pendling came along and co-signed on it as well. Then Hubert Ingram came along and co-signed on it as well. So again, how do we flip the script on that kind of thinking, that our people believe they are not worthy to own everything? In the meantime, you have the same couple people robbing us blind and crooked.
We need to almost like to have a revival. You know, like how the church people have their revivals. We need to go our historians to begin to tell the story.
Well,
our teachers to begin to teach it. Because if you teach in history in the Bahamas and you don't know about Corino, then you shouldn't be teaching.
They don't teach that. They don't teach that.
They don't teach him. But they need to teach him. And if you're talking about the Bahamas and you're not talking about the struggles of our ancestors, then you shouldn't be teaching at all. Whoever's teaching should be doing this. In the law school, so all the time I was there, I tried to place, whenever I made a presentation or I went to a conference, I tried to place the law in a historical perspective. So our people could understand why things are the way they are.
Yep. And that's what people want to know.
It's not working for us.
That's what people want to know. Why?
That is when we should be teaching our people, this is the system. This is how it exploits us. And this is what we need to stop that exploitation. We need to begin them.
I agree.
If we own our resources, then we have a foundation. If we mind about just being employees, bell boys and housekeepers and things, you know, jobs are good, but we need to think about controlling the resource ourselves.
Not just jobs, ownership.
Yeah, we need to run things.
Ownership.
See, I mean, the media now, just take the media for sake. There's no reason why you, in this day and age, you shouldn't be granted a license to run a media station.
Child, please.
With your background of what you've been doing.
Child, when the government finished taking their money, you can't make none.
Are you struggling? Yeah, that's
you know the story. Look at who owns the media houses in our country. By the time the government take their $10,000, then they shake you down for a lot of rest of things. Then they try to limit your advertising. I want to read some of these comments to you, RasBoom. Okay, Shandira said, we become a people like glory politicians. Well, those new hero awards would look at as laughing. Andrew, what you say? More fire? Man, I can't take it. More fire. We need a burning in the Bahamas. Siobhan is here. Good man. I'm all good today with the brilliant legal mind called Dion Hanna. And I always tell people, I remember through Hannah Road, picking guava and all kind of things and learning so many life lessons. You've always been such an innovator. But you know, people, when you talk about these things, people like to marginalize you, dismiss you as cuckoo, or think that you're a rabble rouser and a trouble starter. So how do we get more Bahamians to get up off their asses and try to strike a blow for nationhood?
Well, if they don't, I mean, it's like Marcus Garvey say, you know, if we don't learn, our backs are against the wall.
Yeah, Marinette enjoyed the conversation too. Because we did this national heroes thing, and people, a couple of my friends, telling me I'm overreacting about it and blah blah blah. But people don't realize what exactly that says. It says that we don't value ourselves, stand the struggle.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And so I want you to talk more on that. Hold on while I get my drink because I'm joking.
Yeah.
How do we make our people, man, look here, I just get so passionate when I having these conversations because it hurts me. It hurts my heart that our people are always getting the shabby end of the stick.
But our people, the ones who are saying these things, they come from a generation when they wouldn't have known what was happening in the Bahamas 50s. You know, I can remember back in the day. You remember they never used to serve black people on Bay Street.
Yep, I remember my Grammy telling me about that. Now, I remember my grandmother telling me.
I remember that's a place demonstration that would be in one night. Unlike Glennis was in with my mother a lot in the demonstrations. I was away in school.
Right.
But that was one demonstration I went on with my mother, and I was standing between her and my Samuel Butler. And, you know, he was such a powerful man. He just said, everybody asked for a glass of water, and the staff was serving. And that man ordered 20 glasses of water.
Say 20.
That is the kind of thing it took for black people to really have access to the restaurants in Bay Street.
Yep. Some Milo who laid down.
Was a child.
Yep.
Savoy Theater. You know, black people couldn't go in the Savoy Theater.
I heard that story too.
There's a story about Eddie and the Pooch and Charles Battle who owned the theater fighting because he was trying to run Eddie and the Pooch out of the theater because he wasn't white.
Exactly. Now you know you just shook some Bahamians, right? You know you just shook some Bahamians when you say Eddie wasn't white. Like when I tell these young children about the two sailing clubs, they just can't believe that the prejudice existed between white people and phenotypically white Bahamians.
Pop wasn't white. You know,
and even Simonette wasn't white.
Brad may think he's white, but Pop Simonette, you look at his features, he got pure African blood inside.
Okay, well, you know,
I mean,
I don't know how Brent calls himself white. He's delusional.
The thing race in the Bahamas, Chrissy, is Paul talks about it in this book, The Land of the Pink Pearl. L.D. Paul.
Yes.
A magistrate who came to the